Hello everyone, and welcome to Samuel Vold's ASMR. I will primarily be doing soft-spoken and whispering ASMR. I can potentially do some other triggers if requested. It's not really my thing, but this is for you. So, today's just going to be a little soft-spoken whispering ramble, and I guess a little bit about this channel and what I have planned for it. I am planning on uploading every Wednesday, and if it gets more popularity than that, maybe I can, or if it takes off more than I think it may to begin with, I will think about doing more than one a week. But at the moment, I'm planning just one a week to see how this goes. I also am drawing a complete blank on what I was going to say, so that's unhelpful. Oh, I remember. I apologize for kind of what is probably going to be a grainy screen. I do not have a very good camera. I have a somewhat decent microphone, so hopefully the sound quality is decent. I also, at some point, will try to set up a better ambience, so that you guys aren't just seeing this kind of gray, beige background. That being said, there is not really anything going on the screen that you really have to pay attention to. So if you're listening to this to just relax or fall asleep, feel free to close your eyes and do that. Now, yeah, I hope your day is going well. If it's not, I'm sorry. I know that life can be difficult. It's not always easy going through everything that life throws at us. But you know what? I'm glad you're here. I appreciate you, and I do care about you, and I'm sure there are plenty of other people that care about you. Personally, I'm doing fairly well. I'm not necessarily where I want to be in life right now, but, who is? Well, I'm sure there are people. I feel like most of us strive to move forward and to grow, and I think that's a good thing. So, even if life is going really well, you're usually not quite where you want to be. And it's okay. It's okay to not be where you want to be yet. The important thing is to continue moving forward, to continue growing as a person. Now, why don't we do a couple exercises and we'll see about just kind of relaxing. So maybe, and here, this is one that has helped me with anxiety problems and I've used to help other people. So we're going to start with our relaxing by just taking a deep breath. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose and then we're going to breathe out through the mouth. So just follow my lead. Deep breath in and out. And you can repeat that as many times as necessary to kind of help you relax or calm down. If you're watching this and you have anxiety, hopefully that'll help. Or if you're just upset and you just need to calm yourself or center yourself, or maybe you're not upset, maybe you just have a hard time relaxing on your own. I know I do. I find that breathing deeply generally helps. Now, as far as further relaxing yourself, what we're going to do is we're going to just go through in our minds and go through each part of our body and just mentally relax it. So we're going to start at the jaw. You want to unclench your jaw. Just let it, even let it hang open a little bit. Just try not to drool. And continue down from there. You want to relax your neck. Maybe lean it back and forth a little bit. Relax your shoulders. Let the tension just flow out of you. You want to relax your arms. Sometimes, especially if you're doing like a lot of heavy lifting or if you're sitting at a computer all day, you can kind of get hunched over and cramped, and your arms will be tense and you won't even realize it. Next, you want to relax your back. Just think about your shoulder blades, and we're gonna just imagine all of the tension and stress just leaving our shoulder blades. Just relax those. Then you're gonna go down your back, down to your lower back, and you're gonna just try to relax. Just think about the muscles there, and just try to not use them. Just let the tension flow out. And then continue down to your legs, thighs, your calves. Just relax those. Maybe give them a good old stretch. That's something that can help. Just stretch your legs, stretch your arms. Do it really intense for about 5-10 seconds. Just clench them as hard as you can, and then relax them. Just let it go. And then, for your feet, you want to point your toes and just stretch those. And then do that for, maybe 10-15 seconds. And then relax. Alright, now hopefully that helped. Hopefully you are fully relaxed. And you can just sit there and rest. Just sit and listen. Listen to the sound of my voice. And, you don't even have to listen to what I'm saying. Just listen to the sound. Focus on that. Tune everything else out. That way, you don't have all... we go throughout the day and we get all these different inputs and sounds vying for our attention. And, that can really clutter our brain, and it can be hard to focus. And I know for me personally, that makes it hard to relax. There's all kinds of sounds, the refrigerator makes sound, the dryer makes sound, the people walking through the house make sound. If you've got pets, there are very few pets that are quiet all the time, unless you've got something like, a lizard that doesn't leave its tank, or some fish or something. But even then, with a fish tank, you usually have an aeration pump or something like that makes sound. So there's all kinds of sounds. So what we want to do right now is just kind of focus on my voice as I ramble and talk, and let yourself just feel the voice. Listen to it. Just the sound. You don't need it. Again, the words aren't important. Just the sound. That way you can hopefully tune everything else out and really, really just get into this relaxed state. Alright. I'm sorry, if you are watching the video, I'm sorry I keep closing my eyes. It helps me focus. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Appreciate that. I appreciate you. So, I guess I could talk a little bit about myself. This is my first video, and we're only about 10 minutes in. I want to do about 20-minute videos, so got a little bit of time to film. So, my name is Samuel. I live in Alaska. I'm not going to say where, although I suppose that's probably enough information. Yeah, I might edit that part out. I'm probably going to edit that part out. But my name is Samuel. I won't edit that out. It's fine. It's Alaska. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. There are these gigantic, beautiful mountains that you can go hiking. Some of them are tall enough they have snow all year round. Um, we have over 1 million lakes in our great state. So if you want to go fishing or, get in a canoe, um, we also have a lot of creeks and rivers, so it's easy to go kayaking and uh, rafting and stuff like that. There's all kinds of places to do that. Hiking, as I mentioned, is a big thing. Um, Hunting is also a fairly large pastime up here during the hunting seasons. You can hunt moose and bear, which are kind of the only things you really have to watch out for up here. It's not a whole lot else that'll get you. By and large, we don't really have anything venomous or poisonous. I think we don't even really we don't have poison ivy up here for the most part. I don't think. You do have to watch out for a plant called Devil's Club. I don't know if you have that where you live, but they're very large and full of thorns, and if you brush them, they will give you a rash. So you do want to watch out for those if you come visit. Let's see, anything else? Billboards are illegal in the state of Alaska because they block the scenery. So that should give you, hopefully, at least a little bit of an idea of how beautiful it is up here. 10% of everyone who visits Alaska ends up moving here. Now, that being said, the population for Alaska does stay pretty low because, well, the winters are long and they're very dark, and a lot of people can't really handle that. The daylight changes throughout the year. There are days during the winter where you'll get, even where I live, you'll only get a few hours of daylight, like, 4 or 5 at most. But during the summer, the sun doesn't go down, so, which is why Alaska has been nicknamed the land of the midnight sun. So you will have, literally at midnight, the sun will still be up and peeking over the horizon, which, it's kind of nice. I actually enjoy just the sunny summertime. It doesn't really get too hot up here. There's a couple places it'll hit 90 throughout the year, but for the most part, we don't see much above 80, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So we also get very cold temperatures during the winter. So where I live, it's not typically below -25 Fahrenheit at most, but it can get much lower. There are some areas I should clarify, the much lower, by that I mean like -60, 70. I think there's a couple places in Alaska where it gets to -80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very, very cold. And I personally wouldn't really want to live in those areas. It's too cold even for me. I was going to say something else about the temperature, and my mind has just drawn an absolute blank. But that's okay. It's not super important. I guess unless you're really planning on spending a lot of time up here. Biggest tip I can give, if you're going to be out in cold weather, bigger, fluffier jackets, they work, but they're not actually the best. The best clothing you can have for cold weather is multiple layers of fairly warm but thin clothing. So you want like long johns and then maybe like a don't generally want wool because it absorbs water, so like a fleece shirt and then maybe like a thin jacket. A windbreaker is very good. We do have, as if you're somewhere with high winds, we do have very high winds up here. That was actually what I was going to talk about, is I did live in an area where the background winds are usually 20 to 30 miles an hour. That's normal. High winds are considered, in the 60 plus range, and they don't even necessarily announce it as a high wind warning. They just tell you, hey, we're going to have 60-mile-an-hour winds. Recently, we had a windstorm that was upwards of 80 miles an hour. It was that was very cold because it was already about negative 10 degrees, and then you've got 80-mile-an-hour winds adding wind chill, and yeah, that is very cold. Generally speaking, when that's going on, you stay inside. Doesn't matter what kind of clothes you have. You do not want to be outside in that kind of weather. Another interesting thing about Alaska is if it does get really hot up here, we don't really have a way to combat it because it's not our usual weather. Usually, I say we don't have a way to combat it. We do not have, we don't have AC. There was one year we had where it was 90, like in the 90-degree range, which is very hot for us, 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And everything was on fire. That's only a slight exaggeration. There were like millions of acres of woodlands that were on fire. The sky was red. It was full of smoke. I couldn't go to work because I have asthma and there was too much smoke in the air. I ended up just having to stay inside my house for a couple of weeks while that was going on. And it was very hot. The portable AC units that people could get were sold out everywhere. It was crazy. Yeah, so I think that's enough about Alaskan weather. I hadn't really planned on literally talking about the weather, but I guess that's just part of the rambling experience. So, trying to think where to go from here. I did have an idea. Sorry, I have ADHD, which is why rambling comes easy, but it's also makes me have trouble remembering what I was talking about because I lose track of my train of thought. I have about usually 3 or 4 trains of thought going simultaneously at minimum, and yeah, it's just at all times. It's like a tornado of bees in my head. It's fantastic, sort of. But yeah, so hopefully by this point you're fairly relaxed, falling asleep. Trying not to make this information too interesting. That way, you can fall asleep. I don't want to make it too boring either. If you fall asleep out of boredom, I kind of feel like missed the point of the video. And the video quality is just so crunchy. That's something else. In the future, hopefully I'll be able to get a better camera for this, but, until then, this is what we got. Yeah. Well, we're hitting close to the 20-minute mark. I think I'll probably end it here. But I want to thank you if you're still at this part of the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this, please like and subscribe. That would help me out a lot. I'd like to be able to get to 1,000 subscribers eventually, so I can potentially make some money doing this. That would be very helpful for me, as I'm not currently employed. But I do want to make this a regular thing and potentially get this out more than once a week. I'll try to come up with some better ideas on actual videos. If you have ideas, feel free to comment those below. Yeah, thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. And you all have a wonderful week. God bless. Love you. Bye.